Are you sick and tired of the busyness, craziness of the big city, specifically the GTA? Thinking of moving out into the Niagara region, but you got to go to work into Toronto, Oakville, Mississauga, Burlington, Hamilton, and don't want to have that long commute? Well, then you're going to want to stay and watch today's map tour of the gateway to Niagara, where you can enjoy all the benefits of the Niagara region, the wine country, the orchards, the beaches, the waterfront, the more relaxed lifestyle, yet still be close enough to the GTA to commute to work. We are going to do a map tour of the city of Grimsby. I'm Scott White. Along with my wife, Ellen, we are the realtors for the Living in Niagara with Ellen and Scott team at Rebel Realty. And we get calls all the time from people just like yourself, wanting to downsize, wanting to retire, pre-retire, or simply get away from the busyness of the major city, GTA, even London and elsewhere, and move here to the Niagara region. So if that happens to be you, if you're thinking of doing that, even remotely in the next 9 days or 9 months, please do not hesitate to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even hit that QR code and set up a Zoom meeting for us to get together, ask all your questions. We can ask your questions to help you find and make you decide whether the Niagara region is the place that you want to move to or not. And we promise we will help you make this transition smooth and stress-free. So in today's map tour of the city of Grimsby, we're going to take a look at the neighborhoods from the map perspective. We're going to show you how to get around the city of Grimsby, how to get to Toronto, travel times, the airports. Also, you're going to want to stick around and see some of the highlights of life here in Grimsby. If you like walking, if you like trails, if you like nature, Grimsby is where you want to move to. And we'll explore some of those sites right here for your enjoyment. And as always, if you stick around to the very end, we're going to share with you a great local gem hotspot. People come all over the place to get these special treats right here in Grimsby. But you're going to have to wait to the very end to learn of that spot that you're not going to want to miss. So let's jump into the map. So here we are with the city of Grimsby, highlighted right here on Google Maps. You can see it right here on the, as I said, the gateway to the Niagara region, right on the border of Hamilton and the rest of the Golden Horseshoe coming into Niagara. And that's one of the beautiful things about Grimsby, because we'll get right into travel times right away. So here's Grimsby on the south side of this huge lake, Lake Ontario, one of the 5 Great Lakes here in Ontario. And if you need to work in Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga, or even Toronto, Grimsby isn't that far away. We have moved a number of people who work all the way to Toronto. Some of them only have to go into Toronto 2 or 3 days a week. They love Grimsby. They moved out of Toronto to get that slower pace here in Grimsby. Others, a lot of people moving into Grimsby, working in Hamilton, Burlington, and Oakville. Hamilton especially is an easy drive right up the QEW and into Hamilton. You can get into Hamilton, the north end of Hamilton, by taking the QEW up here to the 403 and then down into Hamilton this way, or you can get off here at the Red Hill and take the link into Hamilton. There's Main Street, there's Centennial, these all different roads to get you right downtown Hamilton, or up here to the link up here to get to the southwest end of Hamilton. And of course, the airport is right here from Grimsby, literally 15 minutes, even with traffic. If you go beyond Hamilton, you need to get into Burlington. You follow the 403 QEW into Burlington, Oakville, up here to Mississauga, and right down into Toronto. Now, you all know that travel along here can be rather slow at times. Around rush hour, it can be red line, stop and go. So if you're traveling during high peak times from Grimsby to Toronto, it can take you about an hour. or more, depending on the traffic. Oakville, about 30 minutes. Sorry, my writing isn't that great with mouse, but you get the idea. 30 minutes, again, depending on traffic. Without traffic, it's about 20 minutes. Toronto, you can get in there easily in 45 minutes to an hour. Now, this stretch here during the busy times can be read as well, which can add time going into Burlington or Hamilton, depending on how you're going. And that is usually in the mornings around 8 to 9 a.m. going westbound. Eastbound, slow traffic, you're going to be looking at 3 to 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. on some days. Right, so that's traffic going in and out of Grimsby. If you're going into the Niagara region, further from Grimsby, the QEW, and that's usually fairly on-traveled, easily traveling into here to St. Catharines, Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls Airport is over here, so there's a lot of places to go to from Grimsby into the Niagara region, but a lot of people in Grimsby travel this way. Not very many, unless you're going to do the hike sightseeing, going for special occasions into Niagara. Most people in Grimsby do go west into Hamilton, etc., for their major shopping trips, for their major entertainment, etc., going in to see the Ticats in Hamilton, or the Argos, Maple Leafs, Blue Jays here in Toronto. They have the Mapleview Mall right here in Burlington, Lime Ridge Mall up here in Hamilton for the big major malls. That's where most people go from Grimsby traveling into this area here. So that's how you can get around outside of Grimsby into the GTA area, which is very reasonable timing because it's on the far west side of the Niagara region. Now let's jump right into Grimsby, and we're going to take a look at some of its neighborhoods. So in a previous video looking at the neighborhoods of Grimsby, we looked at 4 different neighborhoods, and I'm going to just highlight them here right now. We looked at what we call the Mountainview or escarpment. Grimsby Mountain has different names here, and that's basically all this area here, all this green space. You can see right here along this ridge right here of green space is the Niagara Escarpment. We looked at some houses on the top of the escarpment, and these are all homes here, as you can see, in the Grimsby Mountain. The nice thing about the Grimsby Mountain is you can see lots of green space. You can get acreages of property here, and you're only 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if you're down here in this corner here to get into Grimsby proper. Let's look at that right here on realtor.ca, and you can see the number of different homes we have here up on the mountain. This one here, $699,900. We have one over here for $1,299,900. Here for $699,800, $4,399,900. This is the one I showed you in our previous neighborhood tour map. Get down here, $1,099,000, $1,199,000, $1,699,000. So this gives you a good idea of what housing is costing. This is land. You can get some land for $114,000. Build your own. $3,695,000, $1,149,000. So you see up here, the average price of a house is around $1 million, $1.1 million, maybe $1.2 million, and they range, as you saw, around $700,000 all the way up to and beyond $4 million. All depends what you want, and we can help you find that perfect house up there on the mountain. Over here in the west end of Grimsby, we highlighted this area here, the area called Grimsby on the Lake, a beautiful, relatively new subdivision. Here we see condos selling for $429,000, $549,000, $534,000, $999,000, $399,000 for 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 700 square foot home. And then we can get into some townhomes for $978,000, $959,800 for this 2 bed, 3 bath, 1,400 square foot townhome right in this area here at Grimsby on the Lake. Of course, if you happen to get lucky and find something right along the water, that's going to get you well over $1 million, $1.1 million, $1.2 million maybe, depending on, again, the size, the square footage, how high it is up in the condo unit, whatever. But this is Grimsby on the lake. And as I said, I highlighted that in a previous video, so we're not going to talk much about that in today's video. We also talked about Dorchester Estates, which is right in this area here, also considered part of Nell's Estates. And what a house is going for in this area, let's take a look. Again, I highlighted that in another video, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time in Nell's. So Nell's Estates, including Dorchester Estates, is east of Highway 12 or Christie Street and north of Main Street. And we can see a number of houses here for sale. $1,299,000, $749,999, $1,649,000, $789,999. Up here in Dorchester Avenue or Drive, $790,000, $1,175,000, $1,249,000. Over here in Nell's, $1,575,000, and closer to downtown area, $1,198,000. That house here, 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot home. And this is a really popular, highly sought after area, quiet neighborhood of Grimsby's. Nell's Estates, Dorchester is in here, as I said. And just on the other side of Main Street, we have East Grimsby, right in this area here. Let me just jump onto a street here and we'll show you what some of these houses look like in this area from a street view. Central Avenue. Yeah, and see, another beautiful neighborhood, nice homes. And what a house is selling for in this area, Central? Let's take a look. $1,599,000, $950,000, $849,000, $629,000, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, around 1,100 square foot home. Looks pretty nice inside, no? And look at this yard. Look at the yard. So that's a nice thing about all of the Niagara region and including Grimsby is you can get property for reasonable dollar figure, affordable homes for decent prices. So those are homes in the East Grimsby area, Grimsby Beaches. We talked a bit about the Grimsby Beaches here because one of the things that makes the Grimsby Beaches area famous is the Painted Ladies. Painted Ladies is right in this area right here. This is the little crescent here where the most famous Painted Ladies are. Painted Lady right there. You can see just by the look of the roof is going to be a different. Here we go, our Painted Ladies. That's in the Grimsby Beaches or the historic beaches area. Again, highlighted these houses. I think it was $650,000. One of these homes here was on sale in the Painted Ladies. But we pop over here to realtor.ca again. Okay, see this one is closer to the water, $1,495,000. It may even have a water view. Let's take a look. Without all these trees, you probably would have a water view. I think it's one of these houses here. I really don't like it when they don't give an arrow or tell you exactly which house it is from the aerial view because you don't really know. But I think it's one of these two houses here. So you would just across a pathway, you would be able to see the water. And that was what, $1,495,000, 3-bed, 2-bath, 15 to 2,000 square foot home. I always think I look at the kitchen as well. Yeah, it's pretty fresh, modern looking. Off the beaten path, and you're looking at $1,300,000, $1,100,000, $749,000. Oh, and that's land. So that's the Grimsby Beaches. And yeah, so here we are in the Lakeside area, another very highly sought after area. One of the nice things about the Lakeside area, it has Lookout Marina. So if you have a boat, you can park your boat right there on the marina. Beautiful, beautiful area. It's a very protected marina in this area here on Lakeside area. So let's pop over and take a look at what houses are selling for in the Lakeside area. Follow along Lake Street, not far from Nell's Beach. Actually, Lakeside area is nestled between the two, and $1,059,000, $959,000, and there's one here on Lake Street for $1,699,999. So you can see again in around 1,000,000, 2 houses in this area because they're so much closer to the lake and so close to the marina. JJ's on the dock is a nice place to grab a bite to eat if you're looking for something to eat. It is really right. It's right at the marina. Let me see if I can get a picture of the marina. Yeah, it's right here in the marina. Here, JJ's in the dock, and right over here to the left of it is actually the marina where you can launch your boat as well. A boat launch right here. So if you do have a boat, this may be one of your favorite places to live. We looked at the downtown in our Grimsby neighborhood tour, so we're not going to look at that much right now either. And last part is what we call the Livingston area, right in here. It's an older part of Grimsby. You're going to be finding much older homes. Let's just pop over here and get into the streets. Okay, well, I didn't mean to come here, but you can see Food Basics is one of the major grocery shopping spots. Right in behind is the area that we're looking at. Livingston area. This is the main section of Grimsby. The main street just over here and up in that bridge is QEW, Queen Elizabeth Way, access and exit. So down here is the downtown core, which we have some video of if you wish to up here. The Niagara Escarpment is right here. This road will take you up the escarpment, up to the Grimsby Mountain View or escarpment area that we've talked about before. But today we are going to, let's go this way. We want to get in behind there and take a look at these houses here. To the left is downtown. Right over here is downtown area. And here we are coming into Lakeview area. Well, trees, nicely treed lots. And let's go down this little side street here. Give you an idea of what houses are looking like all in here. Nice little park there. So let's take a look at the house prices on realtor.ca. $439,900. That looks like a condo apartments. And we have a detached home, 3-bedroom plus 2 in the basement. Nice looking house, beautiful inside, $1,099,000. Again, they're going to range from $845,000, $674,000, $729,900 to over $1 million in this area here. Older homes, more established area, average in it around $950,000 to $1 million. A little bit less expensive in this particular area here. So those are the neighborhoods of Grimsby, what you can find in there, the house prices in those areas, and how to get around Grimsby. Let's look into the qualities and aspects of living in Grimsby. Grimsby is a small town. There's about 35,000 people. And even though it's right on the cusp of Hamilton, and as I said before, a lot of us who live in the Niagara region don't even consider Grimsby to be part of the Niagara region. We see it more as part of Hamilton. But it isn't Hamilton. It is the Niagara region. And it is a small town. And it has that small town vibe, that feeling, great community sense. People get along. They know each other there. If you go into one of the local restaurants, semi-regular basis, they're going to quickly know who you are, know your name, and know your order, because that's just the feel and vibe of the town. And the beautiful thing, though, is that I said before, it's close to the GTA, so if you have to commute, but also there isn't a whole lot of things to do in the city of Grimsby. So getting out of Grimsby doesn't have an awful lot to offer you inside the city. It is a sleeper town, but you're not very far from Hamilton, where you can catch a Cat game. You can go to First Ontario Centre and watch a show, a production. There's a lot of nightlife. And if that's what you're looking for, 15, 20 minutes, or maybe you want to get a Blue Jay game or a Maple Leaf game or a Raptors or a Toronto Rush game, and you want to get into Toronto, you want to catch a big show, Broadway production, an hour and a half, all the way from Burlington into Toronto. There's also GO Station and GO Train coming from Grimsby itself. Even though Grimsby doesn't have an awful lot to offer its people, there is a lot of nightlife and city life activity right close by. So let's jump right into Grimsby now and look at what there is right here in Grimsby for those who live here to do and get around. If you're into hiking, if you're into biking, if you're into outdoors and all that kind of stuff, Grimsby, like all of Niagara, is a great place to live. Look at all these trails right here, all part of the Bruce Trail in the Beamer Memorial Conservation Area. These are all trails that you can walk along, you can bike along, you can hike on. Beautiful scenery, as you can see here. A couple shots and some waterfalls. Did you know that Hamilton is like the capital of waterfalls in all of Canada? They have oodles of falls. And here we have Beamer Falls, we have a Lower Beamer Falls, we have Balls Falls, and of course we have Niagara Falls, not in Grimsby, but in Niagara. So if you're into falls and that kind of stuff and that kind of scenery, Beamsville is a great place to live. And there's some great shots here, right here, Grimsby Point Lookout, Beamer Lookout Point, but I want to show you this one right here of the city skyline. Lookout Point, Grimsby Point Lookout, you can see this beautiful skyline of Toronto. The Sky Dome right here, the CN Tower right here, and all the other buildings of Toronto. And as I said before, if you own a boat, jump on that boat from the Grimsby Marina or 50 Point Marina, and it'll take you, depending on how fast your boat is, if you're a sailboat, it'll take you maybe a couple of hours. If you're a speedboat, half an hour, 45 minutes, right across, park your boat there at the marina in Toronto, and you're right downtown, at least 3 seasons of the year. In the wintertime, it might be a little bit difficult to take your boat, no? So those are some of the hiking trails that you have in Grimsby. There's another hiking trail all along the waterfront here. It goes like on forever, not just in Grimsby, but along the Niagara Way, quite a distance. And it takes you also by a bunch of nice beaches. Grimsby has some great beaches. Historic beach right here. Then we have a small public beach right here. Nels Beach along here. Nels Beach Park, Nels Beach around the marina. If you like fishing or swimming, boating, kayaking, right here on Lake Ontario is a great place to do that kind of stuff right here in Grimsby as well. Grimsby has a lot of activities that they offer. They have, of course, Canada Day celebrations in the park right here downtown Grimsby. Right in this, right over here. They have 2 shopping grocery stores here in Grimsby. Showed you one in one of the videos right here, the food basics. We can go over here to the Sobeys. There's a Canadian Tire, a number of different restaurants and stores here. Shoppers Drug Mart right here. And I almost forgot about this grocery store right here, Loblaws Super Center right here off of Casablanca, close to the QEW. The Rona right here as well. And we have a carpool to get on the GO station right here and a little food court right here as well. So that's basically the shopping that you have in Grimsby. As I said, not a lot to offer you, but people actually come from Stony Creek, etc., get to come into this Loblaws. Oh, and there's also just up the road here, and it's not really in Grimsby. Grimsby line is right here, or no, right here, just on the east side of 50 Point Marina, but right here is a big Costco. So 5 minutes from Grimsby, you have a big Costco and another Metro. So there is a lot of grocery opportunities. And one thing I gotta mention when I'm talking about this area here, that's Winona. That's the Winona Peach Festival. If you've never come to the Winona Peach Festival, you've got to come. They just had it last weekend. Usually the last weekend in August is a Winona Peach Festival, and it has to do with everything peaches. Peach pie, peach tarts, peach cobbler, peach sundaes, peach candy, peach. And if you like peaches, man, peaches are ripe. You can get them. They're juicy. They're fresh. People come from all over the place. This is one time we're in traffic and we get really snarled in this area on the QEW and in Winona during the Winona Peach Festival. Again, it's not right in Grimsby, but it's so close, Grimsby can claim it. Lastly, I'd say, remember, Grimsby is technically and truly part of the Niagara region. And what is the Niagara region famous for? It's wineries. And once again, there are no shortage of wineries in the Grimsby area as well. So if you like wineries and you like wine, it's a great place to live. A lot of people will begin their wine tours right here in Grimsby. Peninsula Ridge Wineries, Rosewood Wineries, Hidden Bench, Organized Crime Winery. Oh, this is a fun one. The Organized Crime Winery is a very unique name, and it is heaped in history. Show you some of the bottles. It goes back into around the 1900s when 2 Mennonite churches or groups were at odds with one another. We were feuding against each other. It got so intense and so bad that one group actually took the other group's organ and threw it over the escarpment. And so you see that. See, you can see the organ. See right here. You can see that in the pictures of this winery, this boutique winery right here in Grimsby called Organized Crime Winery. Fun story. So you have that. You have the wineries here in Grimsby as well. So that pretty much sums up our map tour, gives a good idea where all the neighborhoods are, how to get around Grimsby, get to the close places of the GTA and Hamilton, St. Catharines even, and some of the things to do in Grimsby. So as we always do at the end of every video, grab yourself that coffee, tea, or preferred drink that you want, and come meet me at today's local gem. And it is right here in Nell's Estate. You may have to come back and see where it is. It's because I'm not going to give you the name quite yet, because you got to come and tour the place with me, because you're not going to want to miss it. If you ever get to Grimsby, you're going to want to come and get yourself a special treat here at today's local gem. So let's get into the car, get over there, and check it out. So here I am at today's local gem here in Grimsby, Monk's Chocolates. Almost everybody in Grimsby knows of this place. Some great, fantastic
freshly made chocolate and ice cream can be had here. So let's go inside and get myself a special little treat, and we'll close up today's video. So before I dig into my Reese's Pieces ice cream here from Monk's Chocolate, let's just wrap up today's video, our map tour here in Grimsby. I sure hope that it gave you a lot of information and helping you make a decision whether Grimsby is a place where you want to move to or not, showing you the different neighborhoods, where they are, price points, some of the features of Grimsby, the waterfront, where it is, the escarpment, close proximity to Toronto and Hamilton. I really hope that today's videos has been fantastic. If you did find it to be helpful, useful, even entertainment, please hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can be the very first to hear of anything happening here in the Niagara region, and even share the video with others who may be thinking of making a move just like yourself. Thanks a lot for stopping by. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to say goodbye and sink my teeth into this nice cool treat. Real Reese's Pieces in it too. You got to come to Monk's Chocolates.